Mic check, mic check. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Microphone check. 1, 2, 3. All right, looks like we are live. Let me put this screen here. Just follow the chat. All right, hopefully you guys can hear me. I want to welcome you back to the Sleuth Intuition channel. I am your host, Patrick Vallejos. We are broadcasting to the world live from Phoenix. Today we're diving into Abby and Libby's case, also known as the Delphi murders. Today I was watching a body cam video of a recent event of a man who was accused and arrested of uploading CSAM to Dropbox. And I mean, it just blew my mind because everything that I thought, basically what I expected a killer to look like before they've committed a murder, I felt that's what I was looking at when I was watching this video. Because people like Richard Allen, I feel like for them, it's not the thrill of the kill. I don't think they plan to kill. I don't think they enjoy killing. I think it's something else. It's like it's the pedophile part of it. It's the sadism and some kind of uncontrollable urge. It's like, you know, they compare it to some kind of a sickness. So while watching this, not only that, but there's a lot of people out there who follow the Delphi murder case of Abby and Libby, and they struggle. The reason they begin supporting Richard Allen is they see him and they just can't believe it. Right? Everything that they've heard of the Delphi murder case, it just doesn't make sense. There's no way that this little guy, this father, this husband, this small town assistant manager, no criminal record, couple speeding tickets, that's it. I mean, we're talking squeaky clean here. Nothing found on his computers, nothing like that. But some people believe that that's proof that he's innocent or somehow he's not involved. If they're struggling with the bullet evidence, they're instantly going to struggle with it definitely after having those opinions, right? So first opinions matter, first impressions. So I think today's I think the core concept is going to be compartmentalization. I don't know what it is, but some people struggle with that. They just don't understand how somebody can be so cold-blooded and you know, commit a brutal crime and then go sit down at the dinner table with their family. That's why we did the live stream yesterday about hiding in plain sight and how even the devil presented himself as an angel of light. Because that's what they do. They masquerade as good so they can perpetrate evil. They take advantage of your kindness, right? But not all kindness is weakness. And that's what we're going to prove today. We'll continue to educate our viewers on the dangers. We'll also educate each other on the dangers of compartmentalization and seeing the red flags. And I'm going to show you a great example here. And in my opinion, what we're looking at in this body cam footage not only is a great example of how Richard Allen could have been hiding in plain sight, it's also a good example of how killers progress, right? He calls it a sickness. He can't stop what he's doing. First, it started out looking at gymnastics videos, which is disgusting in itself. moves on to Kick. He mentions Kick. He mentions Snapchat. So we're looking at Kick and Klein, and I also believe this is a window into who Richard Allen was. Honestly. So we'll give everybody an opportunity to kind of get into the chat room. Today's core concept, like I said, compartmentalization. We're going to watch some body cam footage. We're going to do a Sleuth crew review on that. Of course, we're going to be stopping and going, stopping and going, stopping and going, conversing. What's up? 95 J Burns. Letting that inner evil pent up rather than getting help. Then you just snap. It's so scary. It's extremely scary. This is a good example of how true crime happens. Why does it happen? Because most sadistic killers who are suffering from these types of issues are compartmentalized. They hide it. There's like this weird duality, living two lives, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Right? Oh, I'm Mr. Family Man. They call me Rick. You know, I don't even have a Facebook. I'm old school. My wife does. Right? She's the social one. Well, yeah, that's the mask that he wears, but nobody knows that he wakes up in the middle of the night, or when she thinks he's out drinking on the porch, he's using a burner phone, right? Or he has a laptop that nobody knows about. Things like that. Not so excellent. Let's see. I can't play those when I'm sharing my screen. That's why I didn't do it, but I'll just stop sharing my screen.
Excellent.
And then we'll go back. So I think what we're going to do today is we're going to start by looking at Richard Allen's second interview with Holman, where Kathy was sitting in with him. We're going to watch that first. It's not very long, maybe 5 minutes. And then we're going to watch this body cam footage. And I'm telling you guys, it's going to give you this eerie, creepy, like window. It's almost like filling in the gaps. You're watching basically almost as if, you know, this was once upon a time in Hollywood where they're recreating this story where they actually caught Richard Allen, right? Before he committed the murder. It's almost what I feel like we're watching. It's like the Christmas Story. The Ghost of Christmas Past. It's like an alternate universe. Burns says, I bet Kathy saw signs. How could she not? Denial, toxic, and sad. Yeah, you're going to see that as well. This woman here who seems absolutely wonderful. She seems like a wonderful person. Right? You can see how she's probably the one who decorated all those pictures in the back. You know, she thinks she has this wonderful house, couple cats running around. She seems lovely. But according to him, he mentions that she kind of suspected. So I wonder what made her do that. And I don't have any details on these individuals. The YouTuber who presented it, and I'll tell you who that is here in a minute. They're not really information based. It's more of an entertainment based YouTube channel. So they didn't provide the name, the location. It's pretty recent. I know his name is Tommy. That's about all I could gather. I didn't have much time. I wanted to go live and talk with you guys. So that's kind of the gist of what you can expect from today's live stream. There we go. Let me pull up the interview. There we go. Okay, so I think that's how we're going to play it out. We're going to watch how Kathy and Rick kind of interact, kind of get a look at their dynamic. Then we're going to review this body cam footage, and we're going to watch how this couple, how they're interacting. It's pretty eerie, you guys. It's interesting. to say the least. All right, let's get this going here. In the chat, let me know if you guys can hear this. He's going to kind of sit there for a little bit, kind of twiddling his thumbs. He's thinking about fingernails for whatever reason. So I wonder when they actually did the interview with Kathy. I don't know if they were doing it simultaneously or what, but she's telling them that he put a gun in his mouth and all kinds of crazy shit, like right around the new direction presser.
Hey, baby. Yeah. So, all right, babe.
Right? That's the normal thing to do. Hug your wife.
It's gonna be all right.
So it's like he's cued, like, oh, hug your wife.
They're trying to tell me that you actually believe that I did it.
Notice how he doesn't just sit there, quietly. Right? If you're an innocent man and your wife walks in, you're going to sit there frustrated and quiet too, like just thinking like, what the fuck is going on? You're like, damn. So you both would kind of be sitting there all quiet, like kind of whispering to each other, like, what is this? Like, what's going on? But instead, he's like controlling the narrative. He's taking cues like, oh, hug her. Okay, we need to hug her. Boom, do that. Right. That's what an innocent man would do. Gives her a hug. And then he directly like lasers in on her and immediately starts controlling. Boom, 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 boom. Watch. Right. See how he's kind of sitting there? That's how he should remain. Like, hey, baby, hug. Like, I don't know what the hell's going on. And then head back down. Like, what the hell? Like, I don't know. We'll be out of here. Let's go get a lawyer or something. But watch what he does. He does what he's been doing this entire time. Countermeasures and controlling. He's trying not to look at all these documents, but he's like side-eyeing it. Right? An innocent man wouldn't be interested. That's what he's saying in his head. He's trying to play the chameleon. Right? I need to blend in, not look guilty.
Hey, baby. Yeah. So, all right, babe. It's gonna be all right. They're trying to tell me that you actually believe that I did it. I just can't believe that.
He's like squeezing his hands like this.
I know. Do you think I'm not? And that's what I told him. I can't explain something I don't understand. I tried to explain to him that there's no way that a bullet from my gun was at a murder scene because it didn't happen. I didn't even have my gun that day I went out.
Who did?
You know me. You know this isn't something I could do.
Like she hasn't even said anything yet.
And I know that you know that. You don't have to tell me that. I know.
So he's like, I don't even need to talk. You don't even need to tell me because I already know. So save your breath. I don't even know why I asked that stupid question because I already know. It's like, what?
They really think I did this. And they want me to believe that I know you know I didn't do this. I guess that's what I'm saying.
He's like, right? He kind
I
of keeps
don't know
looking
what
over at
they're
her like,
trying to do
right?
here, but I'm not gonna say something that's not true, and I can't explain something that I don't understand. The only way for me to explain it is that I don't know, because I'm saying it's not possible. There's no way that a bullet from my gun ended up at a murder scene. I didn't murder anybody. I didn't help somebody murder anybody.
I don't know. It's almost like the natural response would be like, dang, I wonder who, like, instead of, there's no way they're going to tie me to that, that bullet. He should be like, holy shit. Like, I wonder who had my gun. Like, maybe somebody stole my gun. Like, is it possible somebody that I know had my gun for whatever reason?
I'm not gonna sit here and try to convince you. I know you know me. I know you know that I didn't do this, had anything to do with it. Talk about scheming or something.
Scheming.
I don't.
That's the Keegan Klein stuff right there. This is what I want everybody to focus in on about this crime. It's not about Richard Allen being innocent. They've proven that he's guilty. The question is, what role did he play and who else is involved? He didn't do this alone. There's guilty people who are walking around. I believe, I can't prove it, but I believe there's guilty people walking around free amongst that community, maybe even amongst us.
They really think I did this. And they want me to believe that I know you know I didn't do this. I guess that's what I'm saying. I don't know what they're trying to do here.
Yeah. Like a bad
I'm
liar.
not gonna say something that's not true, and I can't explain something that I don't understand. The only way for me to explain it is that I don't know, because I'm saying it's not possible. There's no way that a bullet from my gun ended up at a murder scene. I didn't murder anybody.
And what's crazy is they matched that bullet to his gun multiple ways. Like it wasn't just the ejector. It was the barrel, it was the ejector, it was like it was like a 3-point match. That's what people don't really talk about.
I didn't help somebody murder anybody.
See, that's the part I'm talking about. Right there.
You know me. You know this isn't something I could do. And I know that you know that. You don't have to tell me that, I know. They really think I did this. And they want me to believe that I know you know I didn't do this. I guess that's what I'm saying. I don't know what they're trying to do here, but I'm not gonna say something that's not true, and I can't explain something that I don't understand. The only way for me to explain it is that I don't know, because I'm saying it's not possible. There's no way that a bullet from my gun ended up at a murder scene. I didn't murder anybody. I didn't help somebody murder anybody. I'm not even
Interesting.
gonna sit here and try to convince you. I know you know me.
Let's go to the chat here. He's acting the way I used to in high school, trying to convince my parents I was drunk. Wasn't drunk. All right. That reminded me when I was maybe 17 or just turned 18. I think I was a senior in high school. So yeah, it would have been 17, late 17. I was hanging out in my bedroom, still living with my parents, and we did mushrooms, or I think it was mushrooms. I think, and I didn't take a whole bunch because that's just me. Like I was gonna try it out. But my buddy, he's like over the top, right? He like shoves a whole bunch in his mouth. 30 minutes later, he's like freaking out. He's like having this crazy trip, and he makes all this noise, and he wakes up my dad, and my dad kind of kicks in the door. He's like, "What the hell? Why are you guys being so loud? Like I got work in the morning," or something like that. He's pissed off because we woke him up, but we didn't wake him up. This dude, my friend, he was like freaking out, and he was like having this weird trip or whatever, kicking around on the bed and like being all loud. Woke him up. So my dad kind of bursts in half asleep, and he's like, "You guys need to shut the fuck up," something like that. And my friend, he wouldn't stop. So he calls out his name. He's like, "You need to be quiet." So my other friend kind of just threw the blanket over him. And I just kind of pushed my dad out and shut the door, like, "Okay, we'll be quiet." And my other friend just kind of jumped on top of him. It was like, "You need to stop." But yeah, it was like me trying to lie to my dad, like, "Oh, nothing's going on." There was a lot going on in there. Parents, it's like we never know what our kids are really doing, right? Because you just don't suspect that they're doing something crazy like that, right? There's no reason your child is on mushrooms at that age in his bedroom, right? With a bunch of his friends that act all nice and friendly, around the house, right? But it happens. Are there any interviews publicly available with Richard Allen where he and or law enforcement mentions the Kleins? No. And if there is, it was probably taken out.
I know you know that I didn't do this, had anything to do with it. They talk about scheming or something.
Scheming.
I don't. How did a bullet from your gun get out there?
Good question, Kathy.
Because they said it came from our gun.
I know that's what they believe me. That's what they're telling me.
But how did it get there?
I don't know.
They said there was one in your box above your dresser to match it.
They showed me that picture too. I can't explain it.
See, that's the part that people don't seem to talk a whole lot about. So you have the bullet at the crime scene. And remember, there should be two bullets, right? There should be two bullets. Something he said he did on the south end of the bridge. So he probably took that bullet after he rechambered his gun and put it in his pocket, right? Forensics. I'm going to pick that one up, put that in my pocket. Or he did nothing near the bridge, already had one in the chamber, and after he killed Libby, he was threatening Abby. And that's when he rechambered a new round, lost that one, and when he got home, he took that one out of the chamber and put it in his keepsake box as a trophy. That's why they match. That's what I think happened. Picking off the lint on his pants, physically channeling his anxiety. Yeah, also I think he's thinking about leaving his DNA in that office, or maybe if he left some fibers or hairs, or he's thinking like, what else could they possibly have? And he's looking in his fingernails and he's like, well, could be something like that because she did scratch me, or something along those lines. Because the only reason he's sticking around is he wants to know what they have. He even tells Kathy right here, I think a little bit later on, all you need to do is tell him you want an attorney and they got to let you go. So why didn't he do that a long time ago? Maybe if he did that at the very beginning, the first interview, if he just like refused to talk and he didn't tell them like, hey, I was dressed like the bridge guy and things like that, right? I wonder if they would even be able to serve a search warrant.
And I don't,
I can't either. They keep asking me, and I don't know how to answer that.
you
No way
answer,
for me to know.
I understand, me either, and that's what I'm trying to tell them. You want to keep asking me, and I just keep telling you, I can't explain it. I don't know how to explain something that isn't possible. But I know, this is what I do know. I know that no bullet from my gun was connected with a murder in any way, shape, or form. And there's no way a bullet from my gun would have been near Abby and Libby's murder or anything else, because I never even seen those girls. Period.
Jeez, imagine for 6 years you're hearing about this bridge guy, this murderer, right? This sick individual who most likely lives around there, right? According to law enforcement. Now you're sitting in an interview room and you're looking at your husband and you're seeing him struggle to convince you that he's not the killer that they're accusing him to be. Like, wow.
I didn't even have my gun that day. So that's what I'm trying to say. I don't know how to make that any clearer. I don't know how to make that any clearer. I don't know how to make somebody understand. I get what he's saying. I don't have a way to explain it.
And they're like, there's a witness that said it was you out there.
Dear, I don't
And
know
I'm
what.
like, how did they know it was you? So they said they showed her a picture. And I'm like, of course you were out there.
If they see me out there, they see me out there, dear. And I
But
told
were you
them,
on the bridge?
I told them I was on the bridge.
Okay. Now, a lot of people are confused why Richard Allen would ever admit to seeing these girls, right? Why would he admit to seeing anybody? Why wouldn't he just say, I didn't see anybody? Nobody saw me. I went there and I left. But for whatever reason, he's trying to use countermeasures because he knows they're going to put it together. He believes that he was seen out there. So it doesn't matter. You can see me out there. You can hear the logic in his mind, that he's kind of laying out for Kathy. Yeah, they saw me out there. I was out there. I told you. I even told you I saw those weird girls, right? That's another countermeasure. Not only did he just see girls, but they were weird, right? Why are they weird? Because there's a chance that they might be like, hey, I saw Richard Allen out there. Well, babe, remember I told you they were acting weird? It was those weird girls. Why are they trying to accuse me? I told you they were weird.
I went out to the first trestle.
Oh, okay.
That first
I
thing
don't
that,
remember you telling me that. You told me, so I told you weren't on it. But I didn't.
it doesn't, hon, you're not in any trouble. You didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. Huh?
I didn't know you were on it. I'm sorry.
Well, don't worry about it.
See, now she's like, I didn't know. See, that's kind of proof right there that she's willing to protect him. Like, she's like, I don't care that you're the killer. I'm sorry, that I said that. I didn't know. You didn't include me. Right? We didn't rehearse this. You should have told me that you were the killer, and then I wouldn't be fucking things up over in an interview, not really understanding what's going on. So it's almost as if she's ready to be his Bonnie, be the Bonnie to his Clyde, right there. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I didn't know you. You didn't tell me you went on the bridge. We didn't get our story straight. I'm sorry about that. Because she's obviously looking at him like he's a fucking killer.
You told me you weren't.
Huh?
You told me you weren't, so I just was.
No, I told you that I walked.
Right there is where he realizes I need to shut the fuck up. He's like, damn, we didn't get our story straight. You're right. He's seeing the error in his ways. You told me you didn't go on the bridge. That's what the guilty man says when they go home and they show the man on the bridge, right? You got the image of the man on the bridge. Babe, that looks like you, says Kathy to Rick. No, that's not me. I didn't even go out on the bridge, right? I didn't even bring my gun. That's not my bullet. I didn't even have my gun with me. That's impossible. That can't be me on the bridge. That's impossible. I didn't even go out on the bridge. Well, comes to find out, he did go out on the bridge. Come to find out, that really is his bullet.
Okay.
What's
I
up,
love
She
you,
Warrior?
baby.
Have a great day today. Never once crossed her
I don't
mind
know what
that.
they're trying to do, but
Okay, this is a good point. 95J Burns says, I have a hard job believing it never once crossed her mind that he wasn't the bridge guy from the picture audio in 2017 and 18. No, what I'm telling you is I think that she did have her suspicions, but you can't take away the ability to manipulate from Richard Allen. Like he knows how. It's like a salesman, right? A salesman kind of comes in, asks a bunch of questions first, right? Like, why are you asking me all these questions? Well, they're gathering intel on you. They're trying to create a portfolio on you so that they can go ahead and create a customized response, a sales pitch to you. But in order to do that, you have to gather all this information. That's what he's doing. He knows everything about Kathy. He knows how to manipulate her if he wants to. But I'm glad you brought that up because in the video we're getting ready to watch, something very similar is happening with that couple. So we're going to watch a video of a man who gets busted uploading and downloading CSAM to Dropbox. And he says he began communicating with young girls between 10 and 12 on Snapchat and Kick. So it sounds like Kagan Klein, but it also, to me, gives us a window into the mind of a killer. I think this is what killers look like. Killers that are similar, not your Ted Bundys or your BTKs or your Brian Kobergers, not those Machiavellian types. I'm talking about the opportunistic recipe for disaster types, like Richard Allen. Right? I don't think that he fantasizes about killing, but I do believe he was a pedophile. I believe that's what connected him with Kagan Klein, and I think that's what ultimately got him into this mess. Is some kind of attraction to young girls. That's what drove him to this, because ultimately he killed two 13-year-old kids, right? But the video we're going to watch is like a window. It's like going back in time and looking at the life of a child murderer before they committed the crime, and it's chilling actually. So I think we'll go to that now because we're at the 30-minute mark. I think we have about an hour here. Let me load this up here. We'll stop sharing that. All right, let me go back to my notes here. The core concept, compartmentalization. What is that? Mentally separating different parts of their lives so completely that they never overlap. Predatory individuals often maintain a respectable, caring facade at home, follow routines that look completely normal, hide stress or anxiety behind excuses like, oh, it's work problems, privacy, or needing alone time. They build an image of being the dependable husband, father figure. To the spouse, they seem ordinary, sometimes overly helpful, spiritual, or attentive because the facade protects the secret life. Why they hide? They're not hunters, but cover up offenders. Many offenders in real case studies are not the cold, calculated hunter stereotype. And that's how I see Richard Allen. I don't see him as a calculated hunter. I see him more like the guy in the video we're going to watch. They offend impulsively, opportunistically, and then spiral into panic when they realize the legal and social consequences. Their motivation often shift from deviance to damage control, right? I don't believe that Richard Allen wanted to kill. I think he had some kind of uncontrollable need to overwhelm the girls, to take control, and it was all sexual. Like their panic, their suffering, their pain. That's what he wanted. That's where he's getting his sexual arousal from, and it has to be young kids. because that's how it's progressed. That's how it's evolved. And we're going to see that happening in this video, which is very disturbing. Let me catch up on the chat first. Here, I can add the video. We'll pause that. If you want to go watch the high def version of this video, go to Police Release. It's at Police TV, or excuse me, at Police Release TV. And I think it's their latest video. So go subscribe to them. We're going to watch this video. It's not high def, but you guys will get the point. She Warrior, I hate to hear her whining. It's kind of weird. It's like all her worst fears. He needs to stop talking. Get an attorney. Leave and tell this to your wife at home, dumbass son of a bitch. Well, remember, he's outsmarted the cops this entire time, probably in his mind. So this is typical behavior from killers. They need to know. It's driving him crazy. He needs to know what they know. It's like, you already have my name. You have your eyes on me, right? You're focusing in on me. Well, maybe I should focus in on you. What do you have? Because if he truly was innocent, all he would have to say is like, I need an attorney. Like, there's no way I had anything to do with this. If you're trying to say that that's my bullet, hell nah. I'm going to go talk to a lawyer right now. You guys are going to pay for this. So I don't know what the fuck's going on, but I'm out of here. But instead, he's sitting around and they keep kind of dripping information to him, right? And he's trying to see what they have. Okay, they have my car. They know that I was parked at the CPS building. They have me on camera. He's waiting, right? Do they have my fibers? Do they have my DNA? Like, what else do they have? If it's just this bullet, that's it. I can continue to deny it. What's up, Frank? Cindy, what up? These interviews with Richard Allen are just to show what a master. Yeah, he is a manipulator. Right? And a lot of these types spend their entire lives trying to hide, right? Trying to play the role of good. Wolves in sheep's clothing. They are both putting on a show for the interrogation room camera. I don't know what Kathy knew, didn't know. I feel like she's trying to seem far more naive than she actually is. Yeah, that could be her saying, I made a mistake. And they did try to get their story straight. Right? And she kind of deviated from the plan. Hey, what's up? Don Spain in the building. What up? Take a break from snow shoveling. Ugh. Yeah, man, you need to come out this way. There ain't no snow over here. Come down to the valley. Turn into a snowbird. She's asking Rick questions that I'm sure she already asked him before. Yeah, I can see that now. Cindy, Don Spain, we have a snow blower, but still plenty to shovel yesterday. Yikes. No, thank you. You want to know what we know? Yeah, there you go. That's a good way to put it, Cindy. Exactly. And he does want to know. He does want to know. Okay, let me close this down and we'll get to the video. You guys ready? Once again, go to Police Release TV.
Tommy, come over here. All right, stay here.
They called him Tommy. I don't know much about the case. What's happened?
Those will be a couple minutes. Then we'll bring you back inside. Stay here for now.
Yep.
Yeah, go ahead.
Where you got shoes at? What's that? Oh, the shoe rack is right there. Thank you, boss.
Those yours?
Yep.
Are these hers? Let me search this coat real quick. And
Yeah. I have a Ring camera. My phone's in my bedroom, of course. But I'm wondering if that saw anything. Might be able to help you guys.
He's already trying to figure out if it's about what he does.
No, I was... There is one firearm in the house. On my nightstand, facing the window, the one closest to the window.
Okay.
It's in a lockbox.
And then you have one in the closet as well.
And one in the closet, yeah.
See, I feel like these types get pissed off at their wives, right? Or their spouses, because it could be a man or a woman perpetrator. But he's like, oh, yeah, there's a gun here. He doesn't want to. They always tell like a half truth, right? he doesn't want to tell him about both guns. Maybe one of the guns was involved in a crime. But he's like, oh, yeah, I want to be helpful. There's a gun on the nightstand. And she's like, well, what about the other gun? Right? That's Kathy Allen. Like, you never told me you went out on the bridge. Right? Just like being innocent, not really knowing that he's trying to manipulate and that their entire future depends on what happens right here. She's just innocent. She thinks that maybe there's a criminal running through the neighborhood and they're just securing the house for their safety. She doesn't know that this motherfucker is a disgusting, deviant piece of shit.
There's two.
There's
Two firearms,
in the
yes.
house.
Are they loaded?
No.
Thanks, Mike.
I'm Detective
Yeah, there's
Strauss with
two.
the Algonquin Police Department. I'll explain everything in a sec. Okay. We're just going to clear the living room so we can have you guys take a seat on the couch, and I'll talk with all of you guys, okay?
Okay, I want you guys to all just to notice how normal this house is. How normal everything looks, right? No criminal record on this guy, no nothing. I don't know if they have kids or not. They definitely have a couple cats.
Sounds good.
Follow that officer.
Okay. So like my partner explained, he's going to do all the talking with you guys. For right now, I just want you to sit there, okay? And then he's going to stand by you, okay?
What's up, Jamie?
Is everything okay?
The detective, Scratch,
Is everything
when he comes
okay?
in, he'll let you know what's going on.
Everything's
Can you
not
just
okay.
confirm, like, we're okay though? Like, yeah.
Yeah, there's no danger out there. No.
I'll introduce myself.
And the husband the entire time sitting there going, oh, fuck. Like, and the wife has no clue. She's like, are we good? Like, what's going on? Can somebody please explain? Like, what's going on? Nobody said, well, we have a search warrant for your house yet.
Again, I'm Detective Skrodsky. I know this is a shock to both of you, so I'll try to explain everything as best I can. Are you guys the only people that reside here?
Yes.
We're the only residents, yes.
All right.
That
How
alarm
long-
is my alarm clock upstairs. I don't know if anyone.
Yeah. No, you're good. We'll figure it out.
Okay, notice the wedding photos on the back wall. Right? When people come over to visit, oh, look at this beautiful family. Look at this wonderful wedding you guys have. Look at this beautiful house. Oh, you spoil your cats. Your husband seems wonderful until you get the knock on the door, right?
How long have you lived here?
We bought November 14th of last year, so a little over a year now.
So November 2024?
Yeah. 2023. No, 2023. He's right. It was right before the wedding.
All right, and
Right
what
before the
internet service
wedding.
provider do you guys have?
Yeah, 2023, right before the wedding. Jeez. This fucking guy, man. Man, how do these women find these dudes that are into this? Because he admits that she kind of knows that he's a chomo.
Xfinity?
Comcast Xfinity?
Yeah.
Pretty much since you moved in.
Yes.
And what service do you have for your cell phone?
AT&T through my parents. I'm still on their phone.
You're on their plan. And yours?
I'm still on my parents. We have Verizon.
Gotcha. So, what I do at the Algonquin Police Department is I work internet crimes against. So I'll explain what that entails.
He said cyber crimes against kids. And look how she looked over at him. He's like, oh, fuck. Now, this is a killer right here. This is what a killer looks like. Right? This isn't your serial killer, predator. This is your Richard Allen type killer. This is your Keegan Kline who goes from catfishing to meeting and then to killing. But the thing, yeah, scratch that. That's not Keegan Kline. This is Richard Allen all the way because he's the one who has something to lose. He's the one with the wife and the child, right? So he's more like Richard Allen. But this is what they look like. The killing isn't, they don't kill to kill. They don't kill because it's part of the hunt. They kill because they're a sexual deviant. And they need to cover that up. So wife over here in the Levi's University sweater doesn't look at him the way that she's looking at him right now.
That is usually when I receive a what's called cyber tip from a company, electronic service provider. they'll say, "Oh, we located this on our
Look,
platform."
her jaw
We
is
need
on
to
the floor.
investigate it. And I'll look into that, file a legal process, whether that's a search warrant or subpoena, and try and get more.
Okay, now I want you guys to wait for the countermeasures. Right? Remember, these types of people are anticipating this moment, right? They're anticipating law enforcement kicking in the door. So they've already put into place countermeasures in case things like this pop up. And I'll show you. Actually, here, I think I have some notes on that. Let's see. Perfect husband image. Okay. Perfect husband image as a shield. Offenders often rely on stereotypes society already believes. Married men don't do that. He's around kids all the time. He's safe. He works in tech, so of course he's on the computer all the time, right? He's supposed to be in his office. The partners may feel shock, shame, guilt, denial, but none of this means they should have known. These individuals craft their lives specifically to avoid detection. The online double life, cyber crimes. A huge number of arrests now come from cybercrime units, internet crimes against children task forces, digital forensic teams. Predators often use burner accounts, delete browser history, hide apps, use encrypted messaging, access materials only during certain hours. Keep device password protected from the spouse. But digital forensics recovers things they can't erase. And that's also explained here. The classic excuses. So here's a list I put together. When caught, many offenders respond with almost predictable scripts. Common lines investigators report are, "It wasn't me. Someone hacked my computer. A virus downloaded that, not me. My friend used my Wi-Fi recently. I clicked something by accident. Whoops. I clicked the wrong thingy. I was just researching for work." Right? Why are you looking up all this homicidal material, Sleuth? Well, I'm a true crime content creator. Okay, well that makes sense. Now, why were you, Mr. Silicon Valley? Cyber detectives hear these daily and they can test every claim. Now check this out.
More information.
Okay.
I've been having really like hacking stuff.
And
up.
Thomas, that's what I was talking to you about.
He's like, yeah, that's what I would like to talk to you about. Let's talk about the hacking. Right? He's like, they're all the same, right? They all say the same thing because he's been preparing for this moment. Same goes with sadistic killers who fantasize about killing. Like, hey, one day I'm going to commit the murder. And one day there's going to be cops in my home. That could also be what we're dealing with Richard Allen. Cindy, her mouth opened up so wide. Yeah, her jaw was on the floor. Eli, what's up? And that's why they commit the crime. Begin a relationship with an underage person, and they do, like there's some kind of a physical act. They've crossed that threshold. They've crossed the line. That's when they begin thinking that they need to commit the murder, right? I don't want to lose my family, but I want to continue being a sick person. Good to see you, Eli. Chester, what up? How do explain no digital evidence tying Richard Allen to the crimes, no previous history? Well, that's what I'm doing right now. I mean, if this guy wouldn't have uploaded anything to Dropbox, he would have never been caught. He says he was looking at gymnastics videos. That's disgusting. Like normal videos that you would upload of your kids, and let's say like a recital or some kind of event. This guy's using that for sexual material. So you don't need to find anything. He probably was just looking on Facebook for that kind of stuff. And also, it's easy to hide. If Richard Allen, he had 6 years to hide anything that he was doing around the time of the murders, right? So if he was into CSAM, we wouldn't know. He could have used a burner phone connected to the McDonald's Wi-Fi. That's what I'm trying to explain to people. If you're a compartmentalized killer and you're using countermeasures like this guy, right? He knew cops would kick in his door, and he's like, well, I have my story straight. Somebody's been hacking into my computer. I even told my wife, ask her, because that was his story to her. So when cops come kicking in the door, she's like, yeah, I can, I can verify that. We've been being hacked. Has been a problem. But when they run the digital forensics, it's going to tell him a different story. He knows it. They know it. He just can't speak clearly because his wife is right there. So the answer to your question, Chester, how do you explain no digital evidence tying Richard Allen to the crimes? I would say simple. He hid it. I mean, how do you think all these people are hiding what they're doing right now? You know how much CSAM is going on right now, just in this country alone? It's disgusting. All these missing children, they're all part of this horrific satanic underbelly, and we just go on with our life like, oh, nothing's going on here, because this is the market base. These are the customers that are creating the demand, the supply for the demand, right? He's creating the demand. If it wasn't for him, this shit wouldn't even be going on. But it's these people, it's husbands, it's wives, it's brothers, it's sisters, it's fathers, it's uncles, it's coworkers, somebody that you wouldn't expect, right? Even Lucifer presented himself as an angel of light. That's what this guy does. He knows what he's doing is wrong. So he has to wear a costume every day, like, hey, I'm not a pedophile. La 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 la. I'm just this guy. I'm a husband. I go to work every day. And then when the wife goes to sleep and the lights go off, he sneaks out and he does his thing. What's up, Cheeks?
Is it okay while we have this discussion if it's in private, if your wife maybe waits upstairs?
That's okay, yeah.
Yeah. And I'll give you a copy of the search
okay.
warrant, ma'am. You can look that over if you'd like while you're waiting.
He's like, yeah, I love that idea. He's about to have a heart attack.
And we'll probably just have another officer wait with you in a separate room. Which room would you like to wait in?
I guess my bedroom will turn off the alarm.
Okay, yeah. Not
Can I ask a couple questions?
Yes, go ahead.
So I know this is because you got hacked. I know that for a fact.
See,
so what's
did you
all
hear
going to
that?
happen then? So is he going to court for something?
I'll explain that. Obviously.
She's like, yeah, he got hacked. So I don't know what the fuck your guys' problem is. He already told me, he got hacked. This is how it happens, guys. This is how the manipulation unfolds in real time. You want to know how Kathy didn't see it? Right here. We're looking at how it happened, right? Countermeasures. They're constantly calculating when they might get caught, what might spark that. Could it be my mistakes? How do I fix any of my mistakes? And how do I prepare for when the cops do knock on my door? I need to have everything covered so the story just comes out organically. So look, exactly what he planned for is happening. This is what he wanted his wife to do. Like, oh, no, you got the wrong guy. Like, you have a hacking case. You don't have a CSAM case. So that's all part of his manipulation. And he just kind of sits back and watches what he's created. He's like, yeah, this is why I did what I did. I'm so smart. I'm so proactive. All these countermeasures that I took, I'm going to continue to evade. I knew that this time would come, but I took all the proper measures, right? I destroyed everything. I used burner phones. I used somebody else's Wi-Fi. They always think they took all the proper steps and took the measures necessary to evade capture.
If that's the case, we need to discuss.
Wrong.
Or you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to talk to an attorney and have your attorney present with you while you're being questioned. If you cannot afford to hire an attorney, one will be appointed to represent you before any questioning if you wish. You can decide at any time to exercise these rights and not answer any questions and make any statements. Do you understand?
I do understand.
Okay. Do you use any social media or anything?
Yeah, like the username.
No, but my wife does.
Capital ZEFT98.
What do you use that for?
Steam and Discord.
Do you use any social media?
No, I got rid of it all. That's what I started seeing.
Did you hear that?
Weird stuff on.
All right. Rick doesn't have any social media. I wonder why. Right? Maybe he's not allowed to. He's not allowed to have social media because he's fucking doing weird shit like watching gymnastics videos and things like that, right? He had to hide it. I got to get off of there. And also, what did he say? Rick said something about a sex addiction. I think what he meant wasn't a sex addiction. That's just kind of like a half truth. What I think he had was a pedophile issue, just like this guy. So watch how he explains his sex addiction.
Use any social media?
No, I got rid of it all. That's what I started seeing the weird stuff on.
Right? Did you hear him? He said, I got rid of all my social media. That's when I started seeing all the weird stuff happen. Right?
So you know, like the when you like go to search for something, they were getting like these weird, creepy search results, and then like the recommended.
See, the only difference is this cop right here isn't going to be as naive as the missus. Right? He's like, I'm not as stupid as you think I am.
The feed was getting filled with all this crap, and I wasn't the one that searched it. I don't look at that crap, and I just said, okay, forget that. I'm done with all social media. I tried reinstalling it.
He says he was being hacked so bad that he got rid of all of his social media. Right? His wife's like, why'd you get rid of your Facebook? Why'd you get rid of your YouTube? Why'd you get... Well, somebody's hacking me, right? I got hacked. No. Mm-mm.
Once with new...
Right? Rick didn't have any social media. I wonder if somebody hacked him too. I wonder who hacked Rick. I wonder who hacked Johnny Walker's Facebook too. Right around the time the girls... A couple months prior to the girls being murdered. I wonder who hacked that Facebook. Remember, she said a monster of a man hacked my brother's Facebook after he passed away. Like, who would do that? I wonder who would do that, Rick. Right? Same reason that you don't have any social media. I bet you he got hacked too.
Profile, username, that sort of stuff, new password, same shit started happening. So I just deleted it again and then didn't delete.
So you said you noticed stuff coming up on your social media?
Yeah.
What kind of stuff?
Like it was like gymnastics,
Exactly.
like gymnastics. And I'm not searching for that shit. So
He said, what comes up on your social media stuff? He goes, oh, gymnastic stuff. Like, oh, that gives you a window into the escalation of, I'm telling you guys, he may not be a killer, but he is a killer. Like, this is your killer. Later on, he's going to talk about how he started actually communicating with young girls on Snapchat and them showing videos to him of their private parts. It's going to evolve from that to meeting these girls. And what happens when he meets the girl or takes them to a hotel or convinces them to sneak out of their house using secret apps and things, and you don't even know your 10-year-old's talking to this fucking sick guy? He has no intention of killing her, but he wants to have a sexual encounter with her. And once he does, she's not going to keep it quiet, right? She's going to tell police what happened. She's going to tell her parents what happened. And then he's going to be in this situation right here, his worst nightmare. That's why they commit the murders, I think, to prevent this from happening right here. And that's what Richard Allen did.
So I decided I'm gonna delete the account and not have that. I'm not gonna be on that platform anymore.
Okay. So I'm going to preface what I say next with this, and it's very important that you're honest. So I've done a lot of these cases, and I have people explain all types of things. They say, I was looking at it out of curiosity. I've been hacked. But ultimately, those forensic examiners up there, it's their job to look through computers, cell phones, and they find what are called artifacts of searches, of programs. So they're able to determine what's installed on devices, files people have been accessing.
Exactly. Exactly, Cheeks. Absolutely.
Kind of stuff.
We're looking at a
go
killer
through all
right here.
that, and
So this is what I'm trying to kind of convey to you guys. How could Richard Allen hide it? Same way this guy was hiding it from his wife. He would be doing something, right? Doing some weird shit, looking up gymnastics. So when she would go on Facebook, it would probably pop up. She's like, why is this algorithm, all of a sudden my computer's obsessed with gymnastics, children's gymnastics. Why am I getting all these ads about children's gymnastics and all these videos popping up? Why is it in your history? Like, what the fuck is going on here? She's probably asking him. So he has to manipulate her so it doesn't raise any red flags. But he's okay doing that. That's what he's been doing since probably puberty. He's been wearing a mask and hiding who he is. He continued to grow, but his attraction to kids just remained at a certain level. And maybe it's had something to do with some trauma. Maybe he had some trauma himself. Richard Allen said something like that. So it's this weird, it's like evil is like this contagious disease that can only be passed down to you by somebody that's already living that lifestyle, that's looking to traumatize other people, whether your childhood trauma or later on in life. But what we're looking at right now, I think, is a perfect example of a killer before he kills, right?
What my suspicion is that you've been downloading and saving it to Dropbox, and ultimately they're going to determine the forensic artifacts associated with that. What I need you to do is to be honest, because when it comes to this stuff, it does not look good when someone's lying about it. Mm-hmm. Okay? So, and I understand sometimes people have remorse. They're like, I've had this problem for a while. I'm trying to get help. I just need to know what's going on with you. And I'll try to keep it as secret as I can. And
I'll keep it a secret
to her as I need to.
And this fucking guy. See, it takes kind of like a manipulative type of guy to kind of communicate with this dude, right? This dude's really smart. He's been in a room with these sick fucks before. He knows what he's going to say before he even says it. So he's ready to go, right? Oh, let's separate you from your wife, because he doesn't want to. That's his worst nightmare, right? That's Rick's worst nightmare. It's Kathy Allen finding out about any of the shit that he's involved in. How could he hide it? How did this guy hide it? He looks pretty normal to me. I'm sure his wife thought he was normal, but wait till you find out what he's really been fucking doing.
Practically, but I just need you to be honest. How long have you been looking at child?
I think it started when I was a minor myself.
When you were a minor?
Yeah.
When did you first see that kind of stuff?
When?
Mm-hmm.
Where? I don't remember.
Do you remember what platform you saw that on?
If you guys don't mind just stepping out of the way.
Usually people remember where they discovered stuff. If there's a particular website, if there was a file sharing service.
Yeah, that's right, Cheeks.
Kick. That was like a mobile.
Did you hear that?
Talk.
Cases from them.
Kick. That was like a mobile.
Particular website, if there was a file sharing service.
First one was Kick. That was like.
He said the first one I used was Kick. Man, they got to do something about that. That's the same thing that Kagan Klein was using. So the question again that was asked in the chat, how could Richard Allen hide this? Places like Kick, right? Emily Ann 45, Rick 2045, Kathy Ann, right? Isn't it all making sense to you guys yet? It's not that Rick is innocent. It's that he's part of something much bigger. And if you don't get that, there never will be justice for Abby and Libby, in my opinion. It's not just Rick, but until you accept the fact that he's absolutely involved, you'll never know the truth. We will never, ever find out what actually happened in Delphi. And it's not just Rick, in my opinion. It's not.
A mobile.
Yeah,
like
I've had to
talk
cases from them, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll wait until she goes back in her room, okay? Now, so it's a little bit quieter. Do you want to go sit at the dining room table? So I can ask you a couple other questions.
Yeah.
Have you ever produced child? No. When you were telling me before.
Okay, he asked him, did you ever produce child porn? He said no. That doesn't mean he's being truthful. He's going to tell half the story, right? I just want this cop to look at me as a victim. Like I'm suffering from this disease. I need help. You're acting like you're going to help me. I knew eventually I would hit rock bottom and then you guys will all help me get rehabilitated. But this officer's literally just dragging him to the depths of hell with every word.
Were hacked? Was that just white lie?
It's like 50-50.
Okay. What's the youngest?
50-50.
You've seen when doing that stuff?
That's your typical, right?
Nothing surprises me.
I don't know.
If you could estimate the youngest age of anybody you saw in there.
I couldn't tell you.
Probably younger than 13, correct? Okay, gotcha. Do you prefer photos or videos?
I guess videos.
I was going to say, everyone's got a preference, and I understand that.
He says he prefers videos. Like, how would you even acquire that? Like, that's so illegal online. Like, you have to have some kind of experience to know how to kind of traverse the dark web and find these little hidden corners of social media where people similar to him and Keegan Kline and possibly Richard Allen would kind of get together.
I'm not asking you
Videos?
these questions to make you feel bad. I'm just asking you them because they're part of the procedure to ask this type of questions, okay? Have you ever sought help for this?
Not professional, but
So you've never seen a therapist and told a therapist or anyone about this?
I've seen therapists, but not. This hasn't been a discussion.
Okay. It's usually something people keep to themselves, and I understand why. Is it something you want to get help for?
Yeah, I've been struggling with this.
Does anyone else know that you do this?
I've been struggling with this. What is it that you're struggling with?
Have you told anyone?
She knows I have, but not.
All right. Did you hear that? He said that his wife knows that he's a pedophile, but not to this extent.
Not this bad.
She just thinks it's regular.
Yeah.
Okay. And you know that this type of stuff is illegal?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you feel like something like...
So that kind of goes to the question about Kathy. Like, I'm sure she suspected, but the manipulation of somebody like a Richard Allen is constantly trying to control the narrative. Not only that, but planting seeds or laying eggs that he plans to hatch later during confrontations similar to this. Remember, he said, oh, yeah, I was being hacked. And what happened? His wife jumped up and started playing the character that he had created. He had designed that to happen. It was like something that he installed into her brain. Like, yeah, as soon as I get arrested or they come knocking on the door and I mention hacking, that's going to put you at ease, right? What would you rather believe? Your psyche is going to protect you from having some kind of a mental health breakdown. So it's just much easier to believe that, yeah, he was hacked, right? What's easier for you, to believe that your husband and the person that you love and the person that you're building your life with is a sick deviant, or that he was hacked and they're going to figure it out and we're going to laugh about it later, right? One's much easier to accept than the other.
this might happen at some point in time? Okay. Did that cause you stress?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm sure.
Did you hear what he said? He asked him, did you think that this was going to happen at some time? And he's like, yeah. See, that's what I've been telling you guys over and over again. These guys are expecting to be arrested. They're expecting to commit a murder sometime. So when it happens, they're like, well, I guess I'll go to sleep and see if, I get arrested in the morning.
When you view that kind of stuff, when do you view it? Is it like late at night when you're much asleep? Or?
Late at night.
Late at night.
I mean, I'm
How could Rick hide this from Kathy? Right? This guy says the only time he does is late at night.
Dude, I'm so addicted at home. Like the work bathroom.
Okay.
Like I'm addicted and I need help.
Gotcha. And we've got
Does
a
it?
social worker.
Also, did you hear what he said? He does it in the work bathroom. He looks at CSAM at work. How could Rick hide this from Kathy? Maybe by doing it at work? Like, what is wrong with you people? Do you love him so much that you just deny reality?
For a police department that can connect you with resources, so we'll try and get you the help you need, okay? And
Right? I'm going to help you. Yeah. It's easy for him to play the victim role. And this officer knows. He knows that. So he wants to oblige him. Like, I'll allow you to play the victim role as long as that entails you continuing to talk, right? If you keep spilling and giving me all this evidence, like we probably would have never found any of this stuff. But now it's evidence. You play the victim and I'll play the helper. Just keep talking.
And she knows nothing about this.
I think she suspects.
Why do you say that?
She's asked.
He says, is your wife complicit? He says, no, but she suspects. Right? If he committed a murder and he becomes a suspect in a child murder, she's going to suspect something's up. But it's just much easier to accept his manipulation, that reality, than what's waiting for her outside of the door that's being knocked on by police, right? It's easier.
Do you think, did she ever locate stuff on your device?
It's possible. I don't know.
Have you ever had any?
And do you guys remember the 4chan stuff? The officer asked him, do you think she found something? Here, let's pull this real quick. Share screen. I'm telling you guys, this is insight right here. Some good insight. Right here. So everyone in town knows who it is, but we don't report him because he keeps time into specifics. And then it says here, would you tell your dad if you found a mistaken photo of a juvenile? Like, it almost makes me wonder who is writing this. Hold on. Right. Would you tell your dad if you found a mistaken photo of a juvenile? Now let's go back to this video. Listen to the question that he just asked him.
I don't know.
Have you? Why do you say that?
Any public.
Gotcha. And we've got a social worker through our police department that can connect you with resources. So we'll try and get you the help you need, okay? And she knows nothing about this.
I think she suspects.
Right. Does she know anything about this? He says, I think she suspects.
Why do you say that?
She's asked.
She's asked.
Do you think, did she ever locate stuff on your device?
It's possible.
He said it's possible that she located some stuff that made her think he might be into that shit. Makes you think about the 4chan comment about a mistaken photo of a juvenile. The same person who's dropping Richard's name, right? It was Richard on the bridge. It was Richard. We all know who it is, but he keeps time into specifics. Would you turn in your dad if you found a mistaken photo of a juvenile? Kind of reminds me of the conversation they're having right now. Is it possible she stumbled upon something? He's like, yeah, I don't know, but it's possible. So whoever wrote that about Richard appears to know some intimate details.
Have you ever had any contact? At no point in time?
No, I mean, like, Snapchat maybe, but that was like forever ago.
Okay. He asked, have you had sexual contact with a minor? He says, he kind of hesitated. Like, no. And he's like, ever? And then he says, well, and he starts talking about Snapchat.
How long ago was that?
I really don't know.
Okay. So you do use Snapchat to chat?
Not anymore, no.
Okay. Were you an adult when that occurred? Okay. How old was the chatting with?
I don't know.
Was it a male or female?
Female.
Female? Okay. How old did she look? What would you estimate her age was?
10 to 12.
10 to 12.
Imagine your 10-year-old, your 10 or 12-year-old Snapchatting this fucking guy right here, showing their private parts to him. That's one step away from becoming a victim of murder, if you ask me. It's these types who provide insight into what was going on with Richard Allen, in my opinion. He is the same guy that we're looking at here on the screen.
Did she show you? Okay. And did you know that juvenile that was on? You met her online? How online?
Like gaming.
Gaming on.
Gaming, right? Discord, and then watch. He's gonna mention Roblox.
What game?
That one was Roblox.
Roblox. Get your kids off of Roblox. Get them off of there.
On Roblox. Did you meet juveniles on any other platforms besides Roblox and TikTok and social media? So you said there's approximately 3 or 4 other girls, so 4 or 5 total. Did they all send?
And he's not telling the truth. He's probably had sexual contact with these kids.
Are we going to
He's
find
not telling
anything in
everything.
that Dropbox account from your social media that you save personal?
No.
Okay. Is there any from personal interactions with located on the device? So we're going to need to put you in handcuffs and take you outside. Okay. Can you hold this for a second?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, guys, that's pretty much going to do it for today's live stream. If you have anything to add, please leave a comment. If you guys need to reach me, you can always hit me up at sleuthintuition@gmail.com. And if you had the question of how somebody like Richard Allen could hide the fact that he's a deviant, I mean, we're looking right there. This is some good insight into how that happens. They control the narrative, and they even leave seeds that they plan to, grow. And that's what we're seeing in that video of the wife kind of yelling out, he was hacked. We've been hacked. This is an ongoing thing. He created that. He created that response long ago when he started realizing that one day police are going to knock on his door because he cannot control himself. It's evolving. It's getting worse. It's getting worse. And that's how it turns into murder. You heard what he said. He's on Snapchat talking with a 10-year-old girl, exchanging nude photos. You think that this person isn't going to meet this child if she goes out of town and then would kill her to hide it? That's exactly what we're looking at as a killer right there before it happens. Leave a comment. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the video, and consider becoming a member. I'll see you guys a little bit later tonight. Peace.